Join me as I dive deep into the mystery of ancient America and see if I can uncover evidence of civilizations older than Egypt. For centuries, we've been led to believe that ancient Egypt was one of the earliest civilizations on Earth. The pyramids, the pharaohs, and the Sphinx have long been considered some of the most impressive achievements of the ancient world. Yet tonight, I invite you to look beyond the Nile and across the vast landscapes of the Americas, where the traces of forgotten societies quietly whisper across millennia. What if I told you that these lands may have been home to advanced civilizations that existed long before the Great Pyramid of Giza was even conceived? The common narrative tells us that Egypt's civilization emerged around 3100 BC, marking the beginning of the Old Kingdom. This period saw monumental constructions like the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, considered one of the earliest stone structures of its kind. But new evidence challenges the idea that Egypt was the first cradle of human civilization. Archaeologists have been uncovering complex societies in the Americas whose origins may stretch even further back in time, revealing architectural, artistic, and cultural achievements that rival, and in some cases predate, those of ancient Egypt. Consider the Olmec civilization, often regarded as the mother culture of Mesoamerica. Flourishing between 1500 and 400 BC, the Olmecs produced some of the most sophisticated art and architecture known to the ancient world. Their colossal stone heads, carved with astonishing precision, stand as silent guardians of a forgotten era. These heads, weighing several tons, required immense planning, coordination, and skill to carve and transport. An engineering feat that continues to puzzle historians and engineers alike. Imagine standing before one of these enormous sculptures, feeling the weight of human ingenuity pressing through the ages, and sensing the presence of hands and minds long vanished. The Maya, another remarkable civilization of ancient America, developed a culture that combined advanced mathematics, astronomy, and urban planning. Their cities, built with meticulous care, aligned with celestial events and seasonal cycles, demonstrating a profound understanding of the natural world. The Maya also created complex writing systems and calendars that allowed them to record historical events and predict astronomical phenomena with astonishing accuracy. These achievements paint a picture of societies deeply connected to the universe, whose knowledge was preserved and transmitted across generations with care and reverence. And yet, there are hints that even older civilizations may have existed, predating both the Olmec and the Maya. In regions of South America, massive stone terraces and megalithic constructions hint at human activity stretching back tens of thousands of years. Carbon dating of some of these structures suggests an age far exceeding that of Egypt's earliest pyramids. Could it be that humanity first experimented with urban planning, architecture, and societal organization in the Americas, long before the sands of Egypt saw the rise of the pharaohs? These questions remain unanswered, but the evidence invites us to reconsider what we think we know about the dawn of civilization. Artifacts discovered across the Americas further support the possibility of ancient, sophisticated societies. Carvings, pottery, and ceremonial objects reveal advanced artistic skill and symbolic understanding. Some artifacts depict astronomical alignments or represent creatures unknown to modern science, hinting at mythologies and knowledge lost to time. Each object is a fragment of a story, a whisper of human achievement that survived destruction, decay, and the erasure of history. As we explore these pieces, it becomes clear that the Americas were not a blank canvas before European arrival, but a tapestry woven from countless generations of human innovation. Imagine the lives of the people who crafted these artifacts, built these monumental structures, and observed the stars with precision. Their world was intimately connected to nature and the cosmos, guided by cycles of the sun, the moon, and the stars. Rivers, mountains, and forests were not obstacles, but allies, providing food, resources, and spiritual inspiration. Agriculture, ceremonial centers, and trade networks demonstrate that these societies were organized, sophisticated, and deeply aware of the delicate balance between humanity and the environment. They were builders, observers, and thinkers long before Egypt's first pharaoh assumed his throne. As we drift deeper into the history of ancient America tonight, allow your mind to wander through these forgotten landscapes. Imagine standing in a ceremonial plaza, surrounded by massive stones carved with symbols, listening to the distant echoes of chants carried on the wind. Picture astronomers of old studying the skies, calculating the movement of celestial bodies, and planning their cities with meticulous alignment to the stars. Every discovery, every ruin, every artifact adds a brushstroke to a portrait of humanity far older and more complex than we have been taught. So, as you settle into the calm of the night, remember this. Beneath forests, mountains, and rivers, civilizations older than Egypt may still whisper their secrets. Their legacy is etched in stone, preserved in myths, and reflected in the stars above. Tonight, we begin our journey into that hidden world, exploring the ingenuity, the mystery, and the enduring presence of ancient America. Let your thoughts drift gently with each story, each monument, and each artifact as we slowly uncover the civilization that time almost forgot. As we continue our journey into ancient America, we encounter the megalithic structures that have puzzled historians and archaeologists for decades. These massive stone constructions, often perfectly shaped and meticulously placed, hint at a level of engineering and planning that challenges our understanding of pre-Columbian societies. The stones themselves, some weighing tens or even hundreds of tons, were carved and transported without the use of modern machinery, raising questions about the methods and knowledge of the people who built them. Consider the remarkable stone terraces found in South America, stretching across mountainsides and valleys, creating vast networks of agricultural platforms. These terraces are not mere piles of rock. They demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of soil management, water control, and erosion prevention. The builders clearly understood the environment and shaped it to sustain their communities. Their knowledge allowed crops to thrive at high altitudes, providing food security for generations. This is no small feat, and it suggests that these societies were not only advanced in construction, but also in practical sciences that supported their civilization's survival. Further north, in Central America and Mesoamerica, we find ceremonial centers built with massive stones arranged in precise geometric patterns. The alignment of these structures often reflects astronomical events, such as solstices, equinoxes, and the cycles of the moon. Such accuracy implies careful observation over many years, likely passed down from generation to generation. Each stone placed in these constructions represents both a physical effort and a symbolic one, embodying the values, beliefs, and knowledge of the society that erected them. It is as if these structures were not only functional, but also spiritual, bridging the material and the celestial. The colossal stone heads of the Olmec civilization are among the most famous examples of megalithic artistry in the Americas. Carved from basalt, each head can weigh several tons, and yet the faces are rendered with astonishing detail. Their sheer size and precision beg the question: how did people without wheeled vehicles or advanced machinery transport these stones across great distances? Some theories suggest they used logs, ropes, and sheer human strength, but even this seems almost impossible. These heads, with their expressive faces and careful proportions, are more than monuments. They are messages from a people whose skill, patience, and vision rival our own modern capabilities. In the Andean region, we find structures that go even further in demonstrating sophisticated knowledge. Walls interlocked with such precision that even a knife blade cannot fit between the stones, foundations designed to withstand frequent earthquakes, and terraces ingeniously integrated with natural slopes. All these features speak to a civilization that understood physics, engineering, and environmental adaptation. Their mastery over stone is not merely functional. It is a testament to centuries of accumulated knowledge, carefully refined over generations. This was a people who observed nature, learned its rhythms, and applied their insights to create enduring monuments. It is worth noting that many of these structures show evidence of being much older than previously believed. Radiocarbon dating, soil analysis, and stratigraphic studies suggest that human activity in some areas may date back tens of thousands of years. While we often credit Egypt and Mesopotamia as the earliest centers of civilization, these findings challenge that narrative. Ancient America may have been home to societies capable of remarkable feats long before the world witnessed the rise of the pharaohs. The design principles used in these constructions are also extraordinary. Many megalithic structures display an understanding of load distribution, stability, and balance. Stones were cut to interlock perfectly, creating walls that could endure the test of time. Some structures even incorporate precise angles and proportions that correspond to mathematical ratios still revered in architecture today. The builders may have had no written formulas, but their intuitive understanding of geometry and physics allowed them to create spaces that were functional, resilient, and awe-inspiring. Another fascinating aspect is the symbolic nature of megalithic constructions. In many sites, stones appear intentionally arranged to represent cosmological ideas, deities, or ancestral lineages. This suggests that architecture was more than a practical endeavor. It was a form of communication, a way of preserving history and beliefs in physical form. Every structure, every carefully placed stone, carries meaning beyond its immediate utility. The civilizations of ancient America were storytellers, engineers, and philosophers, embedding their knowledge and worldview into the very fabric of their built environment. As we reflect on these megalithic wonders, it becomes clear that ancient America was far more advanced than traditionally acknowledged. These societies achieved remarkable feats of engineering, organization, and cultural expression without the tools and technologies we often assume are necessary. The stones they left behind are silent teachers, offering clues to the ingenuity, creativity, and wisdom of people who thrived long before Egypt's monumental achievements. Tonight, as we let these images and ideas settle in our minds, remember that every stone, every terrace, and every colossal head is a bridge across time. They connect us to humans who lived, worked, dreamed, and believed thousands of years ago. Their ingenuity challenges our assumptions and invites us to expand our understanding of history. As you continue to drift gently, let the enormity of their achievements inspire wonder, curiosity, and a quiet respect for the civilizations that quietly shaped the Americas long before the world turned its attention to the Nile. And so, our exploration of megalithic wonders comes to a close for this section. Yet the story of ancient America stretches further, with mysteries yet to unfold, artifacts yet to reveal their secrets, and civilizations yet to be fully understood. We will continue our journey into these forgotten societies, uncovering more evidence of their remarkable knowledge and enduring legacy. Let your mind wander gently through their achievements, and allow the calm realization of their mastery to wash over you as you continue deeper into the mysteries of ancient America. As we continue our exploration of ancient America, we now turn our attention to the artifacts left behind by civilizations long forgotten. These objects, small and often delicate, carry immense significance. They speak to the creativity, intelligence, and spiritual beliefs of societies that flourished thousands of years ago, offering glimpses into worlds that have long disappeared from view. From intricately carved stones to delicate pottery, each artifact is a window into a mind that lived and thought in harmony with its environment, its culture, and its cosmos. One of the most striking aspects of these artifacts is the sophistication evident in their construction. Consider carved figurines and ceremonial objects found in ancient Mesoamerican sites. Many of these pieces demonstrate extraordinary attention to detail, precision in proportion, and mastery of materials. Some depict animals that no longer exist in the region or beings that appear to blend myth and reality. Others contain intricate patterns that align with celestial events, suggesting an awareness of the heavens and a desire to record or interpret the movements of stars and planets. The artisans who created these objects were not merely making tools or decoration. They were encoding knowledge, history, and cosmology into tangible form. Pottery from pre-Columbian societies, too, reveals remarkable skill. Shapes are perfectly balanced, surfaces are smooth, and decorations carry symbolic meaning. Many vessels include geometric patterns that mirror mathematical principles, a silent testament to the understanding of ratios, symmetry, and balance. Some vessels have been found buried alongside human remains in ritual contexts, suggesting their use in ceremonies or offerings. These were not mere objects of utility. They were part of a complex worldview that intertwined daily life with spiritual belief, science with ritual, and art with knowledge. Stone tools and implements, often overlooked by casual observers, also hint at highly developed techniques. Obsidian blades, flint tools, and carved bone instruments show a level of craftsmanship that required patience, planning, and skill. The makers understood the properties of the materials, creating items with sharpness, durability, and precision that we sometimes struggle to replicate today. These tools were essential for survival, construction, and artistry, yet their creation reflects a deep intelligence and foresight. Perhaps most fascinating are artifacts that suggest a knowledge of astronomy and the natural world far beyond what one might expect for the period. Certain carved stones and tablet-like objects show alignments with solar and lunar cycles. Some depict constellations with surprising accuracy, or encode calendrical information that allowed these societies to plan agricultural and ceremonial activities. These artifacts indicate careful observation over generations, passed down and refined like a form of living science. They suggest that ancient American civilizations were not only builders and artisans, but also keen observers of the universe, striving to understand their place within it. Jewelry and adornments, too, reveal sophistication and cultural significance. Materials like jade, gold, and rare stones were shaped into beads, pendants, and ceremonial objects, often with symbolic or spiritual meaning. Their design reflects both aesthetic sensibility and social hierarchy, as well as connections to trade networks that extended across regions. The existence of such complex items points to advanced social organization, knowledge of resource acquisition, and skilled craftsmanship. Many of these artifacts were deliberately hidden or buried, perhaps to preserve knowledge, honor ancestors, or protect sacred items. Over time, the locations of these objects were lost to memory, only to be rediscovered centuries later. Each discovery invites us to piece together the story of the people who made them. The sophistication of these artifacts challenges assumptions that the Americas were technologically or culturally inferior prior to European contact. On the contrary, these objects demonstrate ingenuity, creativity, and intelligence equal to or exceeding other ancient civilizations. Moreover, the symbolic language encoded in these artifacts suggests that ancient Americans developed systems of communication and record-keeping. Some objects feature patterns that may represent events, genealogies, or astronomical phenomena. The careful placement of symbols repeated across regions and time periods hints at shared knowledge and traditions. This evidence indicates that these societies were not isolated or primitive. They were interconnected, thoughtful, and deeply invested in understanding both their world and their history. As we consider the scale and diversity of these artifacts, it becomes clear that ancient America was a place of intellectual and artistic achievement. From monumental architecture to small ceremonial objects, every creation reveals the depth of knowledge and sophistication that existed thousands of years ago. The people who crafted these items were observers, planners, and thinkers, integrating practical skills with spiritual and intellectual insight. Their legacy is encoded in stone, clay, metal, and bone, awaiting recognition by those willing to explore it with curiosity and patience. Tonight, as you let these ideas settle in your mind, allow yourself to imagine holding one of these artifacts. Feel the weight of history, the echo of countless hands that shaped it, and the knowledge embedded within its form. These objects are not merely remnants of the past. They are bridges across time, connecting us with civilizations that may have existed long before the world acknowledged Egypt as the cradle of human achievement. And so, the story of ancient America continues to unfold through the artifacts left behind. Each object, each symbol, each carefully crafted tool or ornament reminds us that human ingenuity knows no boundaries of time or place. As we move further into the mysteries of this forgotten world, let your mind drift gently with these revelations, absorbing the calm knowledge that humanity's story is far more intricate, ancient, and extraordinary than we often realize. In the next section, we will explore the hidden cities and urban landscapes that reflect the scale and ambition of these long-lost civilizations, revealing a sophistication that continues to awe and inspire. As we continue our journey through ancient America, we now turn our attention to the cities that once thrived across vast landscapes, many of which remain hidden beneath layers of earth, jungle, and time. These urban centers were not simple villages or temporary settlements. They were carefully planned, architecturally sophisticated, and culturally vibrant, reflecting societies capable of remarkable organization and foresight. In many ways, they rivaled the great cities of the ancient world, yet their existence has been largely overlooked in conventional histories. Consider the sprawling ruins discovered in Mesoamerica, where entire complexes of temples, plazas, and residential areas suggest a level of urban planning that is nothing short of astonishing. Streets were laid out in precise alignments, sometimes following cardinal directions or celestial markers, reflecting both practical considerations and spiritual beliefs. Water management systems, including canals, reservoirs, and drainage channels, indicate that these cities were designed to sustain large populations while managing the challenges of the environment. The people who built them understood engineering, hydraulics, and the importance of harmony between the city and its natural surroundings. Further south in the Andes, we find terraced cities carved into mountainsides, blending seamlessly with the landscape. These terraces provided both agricultural productivity and structural stability, demonstrating a mastery of environmental adaptation. Housing ceremonial spaces, and marketplaces were carefully arranged to optimize space, access to resources, and social organization. The scale of these urban centers suggests populations of thousands, if not tens of thousands, living and working in coordinated communities, connected by shared knowledge and culture. One of the most remarkable aspects of these lost cities is their integration with astronomical knowledge. Many structures align with solstices, equinoxes, and other celestial events, suggesting that these civilizations observe the heavens with great care. Temples and plazas often functioned as both religious centers and astronomical observatories, allowing the tracking of celestial bodies to inform agricultural cycles, rituals, and political events. This blending of practical and spiritual concerns reflects a sophisticated worldview in which the cosmos and human life were deeply interconnected. It is also worth noting the scale of the construction itself. The stones used in many of these cities were massive, carefully cut and fitted with precision. Foundations were designed to withstand natural disasters such as earthquakes, demonstrating an understanding of structural integrity that continues to impress modern engineers. The logistics of moving and assembling these stones, often without wheeled vehicles or draft animals, speaks to the ingenuity, planning, and collaborative effort of the populations involved. These cities were not temporary or fragile. They were intended to endure and function as hubs of civilization. Beyond the physical structures, the social and cultural complexity of these cities is evident. Residential areas suggest a clear hierarchy and organization, with public spaces, marketplaces, and ceremonial centers strategically placed. Artifacts found within these urban areas reveal craft specialization, trade networks, and communal activities. Religious practices, political gatherings, and educational endeavors were likely integrated into the daily rhythm of life, creating a society that was both highly functional and culturally rich. These cities were living centers of knowledge, creativity, and societal cohesion. Many of these urban centers were eventually abandoned, their populations dispersed due to environmental changes, resource depletion, or societal upheaval. Yet the remnants of these cities continue to speak across time, revealing the sophistication and achievements of the people who built them. Walking, or imagining walking, through these deserted streets, one can sense the echoes of human activity, the footsteps of children, the voices of merchants, the chants of priests performing sacred rituals. Even in silence, the cities communicate the story of human ingenuity and adaptation. Some sites remain largely unexplored, hidden beneath dense forests, deserts, or modern settlements. Technology such as LiDAR has begun to reveal the full extent of these lost cities, uncovering terraces, roads, and ceremonial centers previously invisible to the human eye. These discoveries challenge long-held assumptions about the origins of civilization, suggesting that the Americas were home to highly organized societies long before the pyramids of Egypt were built. As we consider these urban landscapes, it becomes clear that the civilizations of ancient America were not isolated or primitive. They were builders, thinkers, planners, and visionaries who left behind enduring evidence of their sophistication. Each street, terrace, and plaza is a testament to their knowledge of architecture, engineering, social organization, and astronomy. The cities themselves are artifacts, carefully designed and executed, offering a glimpse into societies that understood the intricate balance between human ambition and the natural world. Tonight, as you let these ideas settle into your mind, imagine wandering through these ancient streets, feeling the rhythm of lives long past, and sensing the silent wisdom embedded in every stone and pathway. The lost cities of ancient America remind us that human creativity and intelligence have deep roots, stretching far beyond what textbooks often suggest. They challenge us to reconsider the story of civilization and to recognize the remarkable achievements of societies that thrived long before Egypt, long before the world we know today. And so, as this section closes, allow yourself to drift with the knowledge of these magnificent urban landscapes, their complexity, and their ingenuity. In the next section, we will explore the connection between these civilizations and the cosmos, the ways in which their understanding of the stars, planets, and cycles of nature influenced every aspect of life, guiding their architecture, agriculture, and spirituality. This journey into the heavens of ancient America promises to reveal even more of the extraordinary sophistication of civilizations that time almost forgot. As we continue our journey through ancient America, we now turn our attention to the skies, the stars, the planets, and the vast cosmic patterns that guided these early civilizations. Long before telescopes, satellites, or modern scientific instruments, these societies observed the heavens with extraordinary precision. Their understanding of celestial movements shaped their daily lives, agricultural cycles, and spiritual practices, demonstrating a connection between human life and the universe that is both profound and inspiring. Consider the alignment of ancient structures across the Americas. Temples, pyramids, and ceremonial plazas were often built to correspond with solstices, equinoxes, or the rising and setting of specific stars. Such alignments required careful observation, meticulous record-keeping, and an understanding of the long-term patterns of the sky. The Maya, for example, developed complex calendars that tracked lunar cycles, planetary movements, and solar years with remarkable accuracy. Their long count calendar, which spans thousands of years, reflects a civilization deeply attuned to cosmic rhythms, using this knowledge to plan planting seasons, religious ceremonies, and political events. Even in regions beyond Mesoamerica, evidence of astronomical awareness emerges. In the Andes, ancient observatories allowed precise tracking of the sun, stars, and planetary cycles. Structures were carefully oriented to predict solstices, eclipses, and seasonal changes, integrating celestial observation into agriculture, ritual, and governance. These observatories were not merely symbolic. They were practical tools, allowing societies to anticipate the natural cycles that governed food production, weather patterns, and social organization. The precision of these observations is particularly striking when we consider the tools available to these civilizations. Without telescopes or modern instruments, they relied on careful measurement, observation over decades, and the meticulous recording of patterns. Stones, carvings, and monuments often served as reference points, marking the passage of time and the movement of celestial bodies. Such ingenuity demonstrates a blend of science, spirituality, and art, a holistic understanding of the universe that guided daily life and decision-making. Some artifacts themselves reveal astronomical knowledge. Carved stones, tablets, and ceremonial objects depict celestial events, such as eclipses, the movement of Venus, or the cycles of the moon. These objects often served as teaching tools, helping to preserve knowledge across generations. The accuracy of these representations suggests that ancient American civilizations were capable of complex calculations and observations, rivaling contemporaneous societies elsewhere in the world. Beyond practical applications, the skies were deeply entwined with spiritual life. Celestial events were often interpreted as messages from the gods or ancestors, guiding ritual and societal behavior. Temples and ceremonial spaces aligned with solstices or star risings served as centers for communal gatherings, festivals, and spiritual reflection. Observing the heavens was not simply a scientific endeavor. It was a form of connection, a way to understand humanity's place in the cosmos and the cycles of existence. The connection between architecture and astronomy is evident in many sites. Pyramids, plazas, and ceremonial platforms were carefully positioned to interact with light and shadow during key solar events. During solstices, sunlight would illuminate specific areas or create patterns that were likely interpreted as symbolic messages. Such precision indicates advanced understanding of geometry, observation, and temporal cycles. The ancient builders were not only engineers, they were astronomers, mathematicians, and spiritual interpreters, translating the movements of the universe into human experience. In addition to their observation of the sun and moon, some civilizations tracked the movements of planets and stars with remarkable detail. Certain carvings depict Venus and other celestial bodies, sometimes in sequences that suggest careful, long-term monitoring. This knowledge was integrated into rituals, governance, and agriculture, reflecting a society in which scientific observation and spiritual belief were intertwined. The ability to predict celestial events allowed these civilizations to align their activities with the rhythms of the universe, demonstrating a profound understanding of both time and space. It is important to recognize that this astronomical knowledge did not emerge overnight. Generations of careful observation, oral transmission, and cultural continuity were required to develop the sophisticated systems we now study. This deep respect for knowledge and careful record-keeping ensured that understanding of the heavens was preserved and refined over centuries, forming an integral part of the social and spiritual fabric of these civilizations. Tonight, as we contemplate the stars above ancient America, allow yourself to imagine standing among these early astronomers. Picture them recording the movement of the sun and moon, observing Venus rising on the horizon, and predicting the timing of agricultural and ceremonial events. Imagine the awe they must have felt when their calculations aligned perfectly with nature, when the heavens themselves seemed to confirm their understanding. This was a people who lived in harmony with the cosmos, who recognized that the movements of stars and planets were intimately connected to human life. As you drift deeper into thought, consider the legacy of this celestial knowledge. It was encoded in monuments, artifacts, and urban layouts. It guided the growth of civilizations, the timing of rituals, and the understanding of natural cycles. Ancient America, often overlooked in discussions of early science, reveals a remarkable capacity for observation, calculation, and spiritual insight. The people of these civilizations were pioneers, mapping the heavens long before modern instruments, long before the scientific revolution, and long before the pyramids of Egypt became the standard measure of human achievement. And so, as this section comes to a close, remember that the story of ancient American civilizations is intertwined with the universe itself. Their cities, artifacts, and knowledge were reflections of their deep engagement with the cosmos, demonstrating intelligence, creativity, and spiritual insight. In the next section, we will explore the cultural and societal structures that supported these achievements, the governance, rituals, and social organization that allowed these civilizations to flourish. By understanding their society, we gain an even clearer picture of the brilliance of ancient America and the enduring legacy they left behind. As we continue our exploration of ancient America, we now turn to the people themselves, their societies, their customs, and the intricate cultural systems that allowed these civilizations to thrive for centuries. These were not chaotic or rudimentary groups. They were organized, sophisticated, and deeply aware of the balance between community, nature, and the spiritual world. Their social structures, rituals and daily practices reveal a civilization capable of managing resources, knowledge, and relationships with remarkable intelligence. At the heart of these civilizations were hierarchical yet interconnected social systems. Leaders, priests, and elders often guided the community, making decisions that balanced practical needs with spiritual guidance. These leaders were not rulers in isolation. Their authority often derived from knowledge, wisdom, and an understanding of cosmic patterns. Ceremonial leaders would organize festivals, agricultural schedules, and religious observances, ensuring that society remained in harmony with both natural and spiritual cycles. Their guidance reflected a careful observation of the world, demonstrating that leadership and knowledge were inseparable. Communities were organized to optimize both daily life and long-term sustainability. Housing, marketplaces, workshops, and ceremonial spaces were arranged with intention, reflecting both practicality and social cohesion. Families and clans often occupied specific areas, allowing for the distribution of labor, education of children, and preservation of cultural traditions. Craft specialization flourished in these environments, with artisans, astronomers, farmers, and spiritual leaders all contributing to the functioning of the society. Every role, every task, and every ceremony served a purpose in maintaining the balance of the civilization. Ritual and ceremony were central to these societies. Life and death, the changing seasons, and celestial events were marked with observances that combined reverence, symbolism, and practical knowledge. Festivals celebrated planting and harvest, the movement of the sun and stars, and the cycles of life. Music, dance, and oral storytelling were not merely entertainment. They were vehicles for transmitting knowledge, preserving history, and reinforcing social bonds. These cultural practices ensured that each generation inherited the wisdom and traditions of the past, maintaining continuity and stability over centuries. Art and symbolism played a vital role in daily and spiritual life. Carvings, murals, pottery, and jewelry were imbued with meaning, often reflecting cosmology, mythology, or ancestral reverence. Symbols were more than decorative. They conveyed ideas about the universe, society, and morality. These artistic expressions created a shared language that united communities and allowed knowledge to endure even in the absence of written records. In many ways, art itself was a form of communication, an enduring dialogue between generations. Trade and interaction were also essential components of social structure. Ancient American civilizations established networks that spanned vast distances, exchanging goods, ideas, and technologies. Precious stones, metals, pottery, and crafted tools traveled along these networks, spreading knowledge and innovation. These connections helped maintain cultural cohesion while allowing for the introduction of new techniques, ideas, and ceremonial practices. The presence of similar artifacts and construction methods across distant regions suggests that these civilizations were not isolated, but engaged in dynamic exchanges of both material and intellectual resources. Education and the transmission of knowledge were carefully embedded in society. Young members of the community learned through observation, participation, and ritual. Knowledge of agriculture, astronomy, construction, and spirituality was passed down orally, through apprenticeship, and through ritualized practice. This ensured that practical skills and cultural understanding were preserved, refined, and adapted to changing circumstances. Education was not formalized in classrooms, but integrated seamlessly into the rhythm of life, creating a population well-versed in both the material and spiritual aspects of existence. Religion and spirituality were deeply entwined with governance, architecture, and daily life. Temples, ceremonial centers, and sacred sites were central gathering places where the community could connect with the cosmos, seek guidance, and honor their ancestors. Priests or spiritual leaders acted as intermediaries, interpreting celestial events, guiding rituals, and maintaining knowledge of myths, history, and societal law. These practices were not superstitious. They were integrated into practical decision-making, reinforcing social cohesion, agricultural planning, and the management of natural resources. The combination of structured society, ritual, education, trade, and spirituality created civilizations that were resilient, adaptable, and remarkably advanced. Despite challenges from environmental changes, migration, or conflict, these societies maintained coherence over centuries. Their social systems supported large populations, sophisticated cities, and complex cultural achievements, all while remaining deeply connected to nature and the cosmos. In every aspect of life, these civilizations demonstrated foresight, intelligence, and creativity. Tonight, as you drift with these reflections, imagine walking among these communities, hearing the hum of daily life, witnessing ceremonies under the stars, and observing the seamless integration of work, art, and spirituality. These people were architects of culture as much as they were builders of cities. Their understanding of human society, the environment, and the cosmos enabled them to create a lasting legacy, one that still echoes through the ruins, artifacts, and stories that survive today. And so, as this section comes to a close, remember that the civilizations of ancient America were not merely surviving. They were thriving. Their social structures, cultural practices, and rituals reveal a depth of understanding and intelligence that challenges our assumptions about the origins of civilization. In the next section, we will explore the mysteries of their technology and engineering, the tools, methods, and innovations that allowed these societies to achieve extraordinary feats. This exploration will uncover the ingenuity hidden in stone, earth, and human hands, illuminating another layer of ancient American brilliance. As we continue our journey through ancient America, we now focus on the extraordinary technology and engineering that made these civilizations so remarkable. From massive stone constructions to intricate agricultural systems, the achievements of these societies demonstrate knowledge, skill, and innovation that continue to astonish modern researchers. They were not merely surviving. They were engineering solutions to complex problems with ingenuity and foresight. Consider the construction of monumental structures. Across Mesoamerica, the Andes, and the Southwest, we find pyramids, temples, and ceremonial platforms built with enormous stones, many weighing several tons. The precision of these constructions is staggering. Stones were cut, shaped, and fitted together with incredible accuracy, often without the use of mortar. Walls interlock so perfectly that even a thin blade cannot slide between them, a testament to the builder's understanding of geometry, stability, and load distribution. Such precision suggests careful planning, experience, and experimentation over generations. Moving massive stones without wheeled vehicles or draft animals required remarkable ingenuity. Ancient American societies likely employed a combination of ramps, ropes, and coordinated human labor, carefully calculating leverage and weight. The ability to organize such large-scale projects implies not only technical knowledge, but also sophisticated social coordination and leadership. These constructions were not random. They were deliberate, carefully planned, and executed with attention to both function and symbolism. Agriculture, too, reflects extraordinary engineering. Terracing, irrigation, and water management systems allowed civilizations to thrive in diverse and challenging environments. In the Andes, mountainsides were sculpted into terraces that prevented soil erosion, conserved water, and created microclimates suitable for crops at high altitudes. In Mesoamerica, sophisticated canal systems managed rainfall and distributed water to urban centers. These agricultural innovations ensured food security, allowed populations to grow, and supported complex social structures. Some societies also mastered metallurgy. Tools, ornaments, and ceremonial items were crafted from copper, gold, and other metals, often alloyed or worked with techniques that required precise heating and shaping. Metalworking demonstrates both practical knowledge and artistic skill, as items were not only functional but also aesthetically refined. The presence of intricate metal objects suggests experimentation, observation, and an understanding of materials that goes beyond basic craftsmanship. Engineering was also evident in transportation and infrastructure. Road networks connected cities, ceremonial centers, and resource sites, facilitating trade and communication. Bridges, causeways, and stairways were built to navigate challenging terrain, allowing movement of people, goods, and information. Such infrastructure reveals a civilization capable of long-term planning, anticipating growth, and adapting to environmental challenges. The precision of astronomical alignment in construction also reflects advanced technical skill. Temples, pyramids, and plazas were aligned with solstices, equinoxes, or celestial bodies. Achieving this required observation, calculation, and execution at scales that are impressive even today. These alignments were not decorative. They served practical purposes, guiding agricultural schedules, ceremonial events, and social organization, integrating technology, science, and spirituality into daily life. Water engineering was another remarkable achievement. Reservoirs, canals, and aqueducts allowed societies to manage rainfall, irrigation, and urban water supply efficiently. These systems minimized flooding, prevented erosion, and supported both agriculture and urban life. In regions with scarce water, such innovations were vital, reflecting a deep understanding of hydrology and environmental management. Water was life, and these civilizations mastered its control without modern tools or machinery. Even everyday tools reflect sophisticated engineering. Obsidian blades, bone implements, and stone tools were crafted with precision for maximum efficiency. The selection of materials, the shaping of edges, and the intended purpose of each tool reveal careful planning and experimentation. Craftsmanship was informed by observation, necessity, and skillful adaptation. Each tool demonstrates not only functionality, but also the intelligence and innovation of the society that produced it. Perhaps most remarkable is the integration of all these technologies into a coherent system. Cities, agriculture, monuments, and tools were not isolated achievements. They were interconnected, reflecting a civilization capable of complex planning and problem solving. Engineering, science, art, and spirituality were intertwined, creating societies that could survive, thrive, and leave a lasting legacy. The innovations of ancient America demonstrate a profound understanding of both the natural world and human potential, revealing achievements that rival or exceed contemporary civilizations elsewhere. Tonight, as we reflect on these accomplishments, imagine the ingenuity, observation, and collaboration required to build cities, manipulate stone, manage water, and align structures with the stars. Consider the generations of experimentation, learning, and refinement that produced such enduring results. These were civilizations that combined intelligence with patience, observation with creativity, and knowledge with practical skill, creating a world of astonishing achievement. And so, as this section concludes, Remember that the story of ancient America is not merely about survival. It is about innovation, mastery, and the extraordinary ability of humans to understand, manipulate, and harmonize with their environment. In the next section, we will explore the enduring mysteries and unanswered questions that continue to challenge historians, archaeologists, and scientists. The enigmas that remind us that much of this ancient knowledge remains hidden, waiting for discovery. And so, our journey through the hidden civilizations of ancient America comes to a close, at least for tonight. We've walked through lost cities, marveled at monumental stonework, and gazed at the stars through the eyes of those who lived long before Egypt rose. But remember, the story doesn't end here. There are still mysteries waiting to be uncovered, secrets buried beneath the earth, and knowledge lost to time that we have yet to explore. If tonight's journey sparked your curiosity, I have a small gift waiting for you. A free guide to the most astonishing, lesser-known civilizations and artifacts that history almost forgot. You can download it from the link in the description and keep the adventure going even after this video ends. And before you drift off, I invite you to continue with me on our next exploration. In the following video, we'll dive even deeper into the enigmatic rituals and forbidden knowledge of prehistoric civilizations, revealing secrets that have remained hidden for thousands of years. Click on the next video, settle in, and let the mysteries of the ancient world carry you gently into sleep, or perhaps even a waking dream. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sweet dreams. And until next time, keep wondering what lies beneath the shadows of history.